Meeting writing deadlines, and this is whether you're writing on freelance assignments or novels. Hello, I'm author Denise Turney, and I'm the author of the books Love Poem, Portia, amongst others. You can visit me online at Chistel, CHISTELL.com. So this Chistel.com YouTube show, again, is about how to meet deadlines, whether they're freelance assignments or novels. Now, if you are an independent publisher or self-published, you probably don't have writing deadlines unless they're self-imposed and you're trying to practice discipline. So to me, say you want to have a book out once a year, you say I'm going to have my first draft. Maybe you say how many chapters you're going to do a week. So maybe you say I'm going to do 2 chapters a week, depending on how long your chapters are. Or you might say I'm going to write 1,000 words a day. Even if you're working full time, maybe you pare that back a little bit and you do 500 words a day if you are working full time. Uh, but if you're just writing full time, maybe you say 1 or 2,000 or more words a day, or however many chapters you're going to do, depending on how many chapters in the book. But you say, I'm going to finish a novel within, let's say, 8 months. Then I'm going to self-edit it and get it out to a professional editor and get it ready to be published. Even if you're self-published, you could do that. If not, if you work with a traditional or midstream startup publisher, they're probably going to set some deadlines for you. So they'll tell you when they want the first, maybe not the first draft. Their first installment might be after you've done 5 drafts of it. So you've self-edited, you get it over to them. They do the professional editing for you. They tell you, this one we're going to get the cover. This is when we're going to start our marketing. And then they'll start it before the book is published. This is when the book is published. This is when you're going to do like your book signing party. We set up time for you to meet with book clubs, et cetera, et cetera. So they'll set those deadlines for you. Or again, you can practice discipline and set some self-imposed deadlines if you are working on a novel. Freelance assignments, or whether if you're writing for a corporation, you're on a communications team, they will tell you when things are due. They'll tell you when either search engine work is due, when you need to get press releases done, when you need to get website copy done, when an interview with maybe a senior leader has to be done, when that needs, those deadlines are. As a freelance writer, I've freelanced for several years now, probably more than a decade. I would say some of those are self-imposed because sometimes they sort of leave it up to you when you're going to get the work in. But most freelance writing that I have done has had a deadline. So they'll say it needs to be done by Friday, or you have 2 weeks to get it done. This is how much research work is involved in the writing, the draft, and the editing, and get it in. For most freelance assignments, they want you to have that clean. So they don't want to have to do a lot of editing on their end, even though they may have in-house editors or contract with editors. They want you to have that clean. But how do you meet those deadlines? Number one, as a freelance writer, don't take on more assignments than you know you can do. So if you're working on a full-time job, consider that. So you don't want to take on a full-time writing load and then also work a full-time job, because that can be stressful. You don't want to stress yourself out. If you're doing your freelance writing and you're trying to grow your savings, that's why you're freelance writing and you want to keep your writing skills sharp, then maybe you take on a smaller load. Maybe you take on enough to be able to write on Fridays and Saturdays. So you leave your Sundays open so you can have a day to relax if that's what you choose to do, or just enough to be able to freelance write maybe 2-3 hours a day and work a full-time job. I mean, you would be home, you wouldn't have the commuting hassles of going to a second job. Even if it was a part-time job, you'd be in the comfort of your own home, but you still have to meet those deadlines. And also, don't take on so much that you wouldn't have time to go back and do revisions, because as good as you are, sometimes you're going to be working with different clients. Some might want more journalistic type writings. List writing is becoming very popular as well. Some might want you to do some writing for some slideshows, like some videos. So the style of writing that you would do would be different. Website, you might be doing some interviews. All of these are different styles of writing, some involving more research, like medical writing, technical writing, than other forms of writing. Leaves time to do a rewrite, because if you don't do the rewrites and you don't do the work at your best ability, you could maybe lose a client. don't get so bogged down that you're not really giving your best work as a writer. So when it comes to deadlines, again, don't bite off more than you can chew, and then just give yourself a deadline for when you're going to complete an article. Then you'll see as you go along as a freelancer which clients are easier for you to write for. If they start asking you for revisions 4 and 5 times, maybe they're not really clear on what they want, and that might be a client that would be better off to let go. But those are some that don't take on too much. And as you become more experienced as a freelance writer, you'll know what you can do when. Again, if you're working a full-time job, I really, really, really encourage you not to take on more than something that uh, would take you more than 2 hours a day to do. Don't miss those deadlines. Don't miss them. Get the work completed at least, I would say, a day before it's due, so you can relax. You don't know what can happen in that. And if not 2 days sooner, set a schedule. Set a schedule for when you're going to write. Could be in the mornings and at night if you're working a full-time job. If you're not working a full-time job, prioritize your projects. Which ones have the tightest deadlines? Which ones are the most urgent to do? Factor in research time that you will have to do on your writing, and then set your schedule out. You can use a spreadsheet to set out your schedule. You can use a spreadsheet to keep you honest so you're not staring at the window or watching TV or looking at social media, and track how long it takes you to complete assignment, because your pay rate, you might find you getting $500 for something, but if it takes you uh, 30 hours to do that, you really didn't make that much money. You didn't make as much as you thought you did. So set out that schedule, factor in research, factor in editing, factor in the writing. If something is too difficult and you're missing deadline, maybe that is a project you either have to get sharpened on or let go. So these again are some tips from author Denise Turney on how to meet deadlines, whether you're doing freelance or novel writing. Please hit the subscribe button and keep up with what we're doing here at Chistel, CHISTELL.com on our YouTube show. And please get a copy of one of my books, Love Pour Over Me, my latest, by Denise Turney. Bye for now. See you back here next week.